It's 10 p.m. and you've just finished that killer pitch deck. But those unopened invoices, that mysterious bank reconciliation from last month, they're still sitting there haunting you. Trust me, I get it. When you're delivering client work, managing a team, and trying to scale your agency, financial admin is the last thing on your list. That's why we focus on helping our clients spend less time on financial admin. And in this video, I'm going to show you how our clients slash the time they spend on financial admin by up to 80%. My name's Rayhan, I'm a chartered accountant and the founder of Sidekick Accounting. Before I started this business, I was in consultancy helping some of the biggest businesses in the world. Now I spend my days helping agency owners like you transform their finances so that they can scale their business. We manage millions in agency revenue and have seen what works and what doesn't. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the 5 tools we use with our clients and that I think every agency needs over the next year. And stick around to the end because I'll share a bonus tool that will help you save thousands of pounds by identifying hidden costs. Let's start with the foundations of your financial tech stack, Xero. I know what you're thinking, it's just an accounting software. But for agencies, Xero is essential. And here's why. Most agencies are juggling different revenue streams. They've got retainers, project work, they're managing ad spend, they're working on performance for some clients. Using spreadsheets was just not built for this level of complexity, but Xero was. So you've got Xero in place. Here's how you need to set it up. Firstly, you need to link your bank accounts into Xero. By doing this, your transactions will flow in automatically. You'll be able to reconcile those transactions really easily. You'll get real-time updates on your cash position, and you're able to deal with multiple currencies, translating into a single currency that you can use to make decisions. Now, subscribing to the software and linking your bank accounts isn't going to make anything happen. You also need to set it up and customize it for your agency. There's something called the chart of accounts. This tells Xero how your business is structured and therefore how it should report data. For example, if you have multiple different services in your agency, and you want to start to measure profitability of each service individually, you need to tell Xero what those categories are so that it can start to align your data to them and give you output that helps you to understand your business specifically better. The default chart of accounts in Xero that most people use is the same for an agency, a manufacturing business, or a retail business. It's not bespoke to how you work. There's a missing piece to the puzzle. You've got your bank transactions coming into Xero, you've got your categories aligned to your business, but how does Xero know what those transactions relate to? For example, if you took cash out of an ATM to pay a freelancer, how does Xero know that that's what that cash transaction was and it wasn't just money you took out to go and buy lunch? That's where our next tool comes in, Dext. Your accountant's probably asked you for receipts and invoices previously. You've probably been there before. You've got a pile of receipts, you've got an inbox full of invoices and other things that your accountant's asking for. You're getting reminders and you just don't have the time to give them in. If you're nodding right now, you need to know about Dext. Dext is like a digital filing cabinet. It takes all of your information from various sources, pulls it together, and then it will tell Xero exactly what a specific receipt is using AI and other technology. So you're not spending hours telling Xero how to categorize your transactions. You can also use Dext with your team. So if they're out for a team lunch and pay for it, they can snap a receipt on their app and that comes through into the accounts immediately. Now, it doesn't stop there. You can also teach Dext that certain invoices, receipts, or suppliers relate to specific projects. So now it's giving additional information into Xero so that your data is categorized and cut in that way. So that agency you paid to fulfill some client work is tagged as a cost of sale automatically. That client lunch goes straight to business development, and the SEMrush subscription goes straight to your software expenses. So what does that mean? No more end of month or end of year receipt hunting. If you're ever investigated by HMRC, all of your data is already stored and categorized, which will save you a ton of time. No more missed tax deductions because you're keeping up to date with it in real time so your accountant can identify those opportunities and take advantage of them. And there's no more disagreements about expenses because you have visibility and you can have a conversation up front. So now we have really clean data in Xero that's accurate and tells us everything we need to based on how we run the business. How do you then turn that data into insight that helps you make decisions? We use a tool called Fathom. Fathom transforms that data into something that you can review, analyze, and use to make future decisions. First, you can look at the most important KPIs for your agency. For example, team utilization, profitability at a client level, revenue per head, and a client lifetime value. And all of this is visible in a snapshot in real time. But where it's even more powerful is when you can start to overlay and understand the relationships between these numbers. For example, you can see which services are the most profitable. You can go one step further to understand what's driving that profitability. So is it team costs or is it external freelancers and agencies? And with that data, you can understand where you're over-servicing clients, which services you should push more of and which you should do less of. And the best part is once all of this is set up, everything uses that data in Xero to automatically update in real time. So you never need to guess when you can afford to hire that next team member, whether it's time to introduce a new service or if you're pricing correctly. You have good, accurate financial data presented in a way that's actionable for you. By the way, if you're finding this video useful, please give it a like so more agency owners can take value from it. And subscribe to my channel because we're posting videos like this every week to help you grow a profitable and sustainable agency. The fourth tool we use is Float. Now that we have a good idea of how the agency has performed in the past, driven by bank transactions, we want to look forward to say, what do we think is going to happen in the future? And what does that mean for the business? This tool will help you answer questions like, we've just won a new project. Can we afford to hire additional resource this month, or do we need to wait till next? Float is like your financial GPS. It shows you what your cash balance will be next week, next month, or even in 6 months' time. It then lets you plot different routes and different paths and shows you that end position and timelines so you can make a decision on what the best route forward is today. And again, because it links into Xero, your forecasts are updated automatically in real time. When it comes to setting up your cash flow forecast, you should have 3 different scenarios at a minimum. The first one is your likely or current case. How are things today in the business in terms of confirmed revenue, team members that are currently on board, and anything known that's happening in the future? Once you have this likely scenario in place, it's your base. And you can then have 2 different scenarios off the back of it, which is the best case and the worst case. Your best case is looking at, for example, what if we close all of the clients in our pipeline and we can deliver that work with the existing team? A worst case could be, what if we lose our 3 biggest clients? When you have these 3 scenarios in place, you understand where your limits are and you can then make decisions within them. Think of Flow as your early financial warning system. It shows you potential problems and opportunities months in advance. And finally, we want to centralize as much of that information as possible so you're not logging into 4 different systems at any point in time. And we like to use Slack as a hub because most of our clients are in there every day. Here's how you can turn Slack into your financial command center. We start with 3 basic channels. The first is finance alerts. This is giving key updates, for example, when an invoice is coming due, when a client has paid their invoice, or when you're due to pay a bill to a supplier. The second is expenses, and this is where you can review and approve team expenses. For example, someone's gone and done some L&D and want to reclaim that from the business. And the third is cash flow, and this channel is used for planning for the future. Now, once these channels are in place, you need to be selective. Not everyone in the business needs to know what's going on in your finances. Project managers get notified when they're close to budget or when they exceed budget for their clients. Department heads get notified for specific members of their team requesting expenses, and account managers get notifications when invoices are due and when they've been paid. How do you get your team to actually use this? Well, the fact they're in Slack all day makes it so much easier. But you need to start slow. So give them a few notifications for key things specific to their role, similar to what I just mentioned, and then build this command center out over time. It's also important you do customize alerts for specific people in the team so that they're not seeing sensitive information they shouldn't, but also so that they're not getting fatigued with notifications. With all of this in place, there should be complete financial transparency amongst the people that need it. You should be able to invoice and get paid quicker. You should have more predictable future cash flows, and there should be far less time worrying about financial admin. The beauty of this system is that it turns financial management from a monthly or quarterly affair to an ongoing conversation. Now, everything I've just shared is the foundation. You can then build on this system as you need to as your agency grows. But here's some bonus tips that I've not mentioned. First, Xero is your core source of truth for everything. Forget all of the spreadsheets that you hold and any other financial tool. Xero is your source data, and if it's managed correctly, will always give you accurate information. Second, most of these software tools will offer you a discount for an annual commitment. Start off with monthly, put the system in place, start using it, and then go to the annual subscription to save a bit of money. And third, and most importantly, is document the processes as you go along so it's not all in your head. Take 10 minutes to do and save you hours of training any new team members.